Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's get started, please, with the activity number 3 again. Guys, any questions?
No.
You can
No,
start.
no.
So, okay, so you can start. Read the question and do number 1, please.
Find words in the United Kingdom text that have these meanings. Connected with money and businesses, financial.
Okay, thank you. Now, the second one, Muhammad.
More or less, not exactly, approximate.
Okay, thank you. That's nice. Now, another one is Obada.
Country that has a king or queen, monarchy.
Monarchy. Okay. Alice.
Monarchy.
Yes.
Used by governments and informal situation, official.
Okay. Now, the next one, Ru'a. Okay, Sally, can you take that? She has a problem with the mic. Sally, number 5.
This is government, parliament.
Thank you. Now, Joyce, next one. Number 6.
Times when people can vote, elections.
Yes, and Fadi, the next one, the last one.
Political system without a king or queen, republic.
Thank you very much. Now, I need someone read all the words. So Alice, can you start, please? The one in red.
Financial, approximately, monarchy, official, parliament, elections, republic.
Okay, can you listen to Muhammad repeating them? Alice, for pronunciation, please.
Okay.
Yes. Muhammad.
Financial, approximately, monarchy, official, parliament, elections, republic.
Thank you both. Now we need to use the words in the next activity. Complete the sentences. Look at number 1. Use the words in activity 3 to complete the sentences below. Now, number 1, Talia. Joyce.
There is a part of the parliament building where people can go and watch the discussions.
Okay, thank you. Guys.
The country was a republic from 1923 to 1946 when the king returned and it became a monarchy again.
Thank you. Now, the next one, Fadi.
Okay.
And Firas, the next, the one after. Go. Fadi. Okay, who said I can do it, please?
I think there were approximately 50 people at the meeting, but I didn't count them.
Okay, thank you. Firas, the next one.
This isn't an official rule. It's just something that nearly everyone does.
Okay, now official. The word is official. Raya.
Official.
Okay, Raya. Number 5.
That people under 18 can vote in
Yes. Where can
elections.
elections?
People
Thank
under
you.
18.
Yes, elections. Thank you. That's nice. Now, Iyad or Obada raised hand. Yes, Obada. Number 6.
I often lose money by making the wrong financial choices.
Okay, thank you. Financial choices. Now, I need someone to read them all. Sally, can you? The words in the blanks.
أقرأهم.
Yes, the ones in red again.
Parliament الأولى.
Okay.
The second republic. وبنفس الجملة في
Don't speak Arabic. Just read the words in red without talking. Anything extra. So start again. Parliament.
parliament, republic, monarchy,
Yes.
approximately, official, election,
financial.
Financial. Okay. Now, Isa, can you read them? For pronunciation only, you need to pronounce them well and correctly. So, guys, do that, please.
Parliament, republic, monarchy, approximately, official, elections, financial.
Thank you very much. Now, these are the new vocabulary items in your number 10, reading 1, period 1. Now, in the next activity here, read the information about another country and then try to fill in the blanks with the correct information from the one about Great Britain. Finally, compare your answers. We need to start. Now, if you look at the flag, which country in the world is this?
Algeria.
Algeria. Now, what's the full name? People's Democratic Republic of
Algeria.
ألجيريا. جمهورية الجزائر الديمقراطية الشعبية اسمها بالعربي. اسمها 4. جمهورية الجزائر الديمقراطية الشعبية، اكتبوا عليها. الأردن المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية الآن. الجمهورية السورية، جمهورية مصر العربية. كل واحدة لها اسم. According to the names, the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Now, what's the capital city, Julia? جمهورية الجزائر الديمقراطية democratic وبيبلز الشعبية. Now, what's the capital city?
Algeria, sorry.
Algiers in French, Algiers. Now, is the largest city 4 times larger than the second city, Oran? Oran اكتب عليها وهران بالعربي. Oran. Now, so this city, what is it in blank number 4? The capital city?
Algiers.
Algiers. So it's the same, Algiers.
Algiers.
Now, okay. Now, the name of the country is Algeria. And the name of the capital city is Algiers. وهن بالعربي التنتين الجزائر، ديروا بالكم. Now, population approximately 37.9 million. Area 2,381,741 square kilometers, 919,595 square miles. 90% of the land is desert. 90% من الجزائر صحراء. هاي معلومة للمعرفة. Something to know about the Arab world. 90% is desert. Now, what's the official language they speak, Sally?
Arabic.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Now, Tiba is also widely used, especially in government, media, and education. What other language do they speak in Algeria? Fadi, can you help?
French.
French, thank you. So, now, Joyce, system of government, democracy, democratic. The head of state is president. رئيس الجمهورية بنسميه president. اكتبوا عليها. الملك بنسميه king or monarch, who is elected for a 5-year term. يعني فترة 5 سنوات. The position used to be limited to 2 5-year terms. كان يعني يصح له يترشح مرتين. But this limitation was removed in 2008. عبد العزيز بوتفليكا حولها مشان يصير زي الملك، بدل مرتين 3 و4 و5. Anyone over the age of 18 can vote in elections. Yes, the president is the head of the army. طلع مشان يمسك البلد. الرئيس الجمهورية هو قائد الجيش. The head of the army, الجيش. This one here. And also chooses the prime ministers. هو prime minister هو اللي بيختار رئيس الوزراء. إذن هو الكل بالكل. Who is the head of government? رئيس الحكومة. So who is the head of government?
The president.
The prime minister. Who chooses the prime minister? Who chooses him?
President.
What
The
else does he
president.
do? What else job does he do?
He's the head of the army.
The head of the government. Now, I need someone read that. Raya, I miss you talking. Now I need you. So start reading it again.
Yes.
Yeah, go reading, please.
بالأول.
Yes.
Name Algeria. The full name is the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Capital city Algiers.
Yes.
Algiers is the largest city, 4 times larger than the second.
The second city, Oran.
The second city, Oran.
Yes.
Population approximately 37.9 million.
Yes.
Area 381,741 square kilometer.
Yes. Thousand.
919,595 square miles.
Yes.
90% of the land is desert. Official language Arabic. French is also the widely used, especially in the government, media, and education.
Yes.
System of the government, democracy. The head of the state is president, who is elected for 5 years term. The position used to be limited to 2 5 years term, but this limitation was removed in 2008.
Yes.
2008.
Yes.
Anyone over the age of 18 can vote. The president is the head of the army and also chooses the prime minister, who is the head of the government.
Thank you very much. Now, all you need to do here is compare this text to the word text in last time, or the first text in unit number 10, and you can find out that he's talking about two systems of government. Here, it's the republic with a president. And text number 1 was a monarchy with a king or queen, like in England. The words here, Algeria, not Algeria, Algeria, Algiers, Arabic, French, and vote. Now, next slide. Now, look at the graph, then answer the questions. Now, how many different lines can you see in the graph?
4.
Okay,
Four.
four lines. Now, if you look at the vertical one here, what does it show?
Percentage.
Percentages, النسب المئوية اكتبوا عليها, yes. And the one here,
Non-voters.
no,
By
it's
age
the
group.
years. Look at them. They are the years. Oh, so the vertical one shows percentage, and the horizontal one, horizontal أفقي. اكتبوها على الفقرة هون على السطر. Horizontal, horizon, مع TAL. Now, the vertical and the horizontal lines show percentages and years. What does the graph talk about here? The graph يعني رسم بياني. Look at the word at the top here.
Non-voters in elections by age group.
Yes, non-voters in elections by age group. Now, how many different colors can you see?
4.
4. What's the blue one for?
Ages from 18 to 24.
So young people, ages, the youth, الشباب, 18, 24. The green one,
25 to 34.
young. These are young adults. What about 35 and 44? Which color?
Red.
Red. And the dark blue one, which one? Which age?
45 and up.
45 and above. Now, look at it, study it. The numbers have been rising and then falling of the people who have, at the end, they are all rising. The number of people who are not voting, non-voters, يعني من لا يذهب للانتخابات. Between 1974 and 2014. So what period does it cover?
From 1974 till 2014.
Thank you. Now, complete sentence number 1. In 1948, there were 2, look at it, 1984.
Elections.
2 elections, yes. Now, number 2, since the 1824 age group has been the least likely to vote. Now, look at the age group with the blue. When did they start to be the least likely to vote? Which year?
1978.
1978 here. You can draw a line like this, drop it down. You will find that it's 1978, isn't it? Number 3.
Yeah.
People, yes. People who are most likely to vote are in the, who are most likely to vote?
The oldest age group.
All people. Then which one?
The purple.
Okay, so what do we call them? 45 plus. It goes here. Which age group? Older people or the 45 plus. Write the answers, please, in your books. I'm cleaning stuff and moving to the next thing, our next activity. Here, all we need to know is how to study a graph and understand it well. We can look at the vertical and the horizontal lines. What does it show here and what does it show here? What does it talk about? You can look at the caption. caption المقتطف الموجود تحت الرسم البياني أو الصورة. It describes what it is about. So it talks about non-voters in elections by age group over the period 1974-2014. The least likely to vote are the young people because they are not interested. They don't think that it's good for them to vote. They are not so much in a worry about politics. But older people think a lot about politics and they vote. On the next slide, we have an article in which we are talking about the democracy report. I'd like you to read paragraph number 1 quickly and find out what's the crisis. Here in line number 1, a crisis of democracy. Read paragraph number 1, please, quickly, and find out what's the crisis of democracy according to this paragraph.
أستاذ بس تزيح الإشي على فوق على اليمين.
هسه بزيح وبخفيها. Yes. So read it. Raya, ready, go. Yes, Raya, please.
اقرأوا الأجابة على السؤال.
No, what's the answer to the question? What's the crisis?
The number of people who vote in election has been falling.
Thank you very much. That's it. So the crisis is that the number of people who vote in elections has been falling. هذا اللي شفناه في الرسم البياني قبل شوي. عدد اللي بيروحوا يصوتوا عم ينخفض, falling. Now, in the paragraph again, it talks about why they don't want to vote. Now, why do they not want to vote? Why do they not go voting?
Because young people find traditional politics boring.
That's it. Thank you very much. There is a feeling that traditional politics are boring among young people. So they think that whatever party they are from, politicians means they, and they refers to politicians, they have nothing to offer them. So they would say, politicians have nothing to offer us. Why should we vote? We are not interested. We don't care. We are not interested in politics. Now, Faris Osama will be reading the paragraph number 1 and 2, and then I'll ask you some questions about them. So please, Faris.
1 and 2 ولا بس 2؟
Paragraph 1 and 2. No, we need to go over that.
عيد أولا. Many experts believe that we are facing a crisis of democracy for many years now, not just in the UK, but in all the world's more established democracies. The number of people who vote in elections has been falling. This is especially true among young people. The message from opinion polls is clear. There's a common feeling that young people find traditional politics boring, and that whatever party they are from, politicians have nothing to offer them. Now, a new report has recommended that voting should be made compulsory, and that the voting age should be lowered to 16. It's a problem that so many young people don't vote, says Professor Paul Meadows, one of the report's authors, because politicians can then afford to ignore them. This increases the feeling of not being listened to, and so it goes on. But if young people want their voices to be heard, they have to vote. خلاص أكمل ولا
لا 3 أسطر لآخر الفقرة 13.
One important feeling that we say in the report, though, is that there should be none of the above option for those who don't support any of the available candidates. That way, politicians will at least be made aware of how many people aren't satisfied with what they're up.
Thank you very much. Now, going back again to the first line and the first paragraph, what's the experts' opinion? What do they believe?
They are facing.
It should be lowered till 16.
No, here, paragraph number 1. What do they believe?
They're facing the crisis of democracy.
Thank you. Now, another question. What's the crisis? We just answered it 2 minutes ago.
Crisis of democracy.
The number of people who vote in the elections has been falling.
Is it only in the UK?
No.
All around the world.
Now, what are established democracies? يعني what's established?
يعني ضابط يعني شو
عريقة اكتبوا عليها عريق. حتى الديمقراطيات الغربية العريقة بده يحكي لنا. Now, this is especially true among young people. So, which age group is less likely to vote?
Young people.
Young people.
Yeah, there is a message from opinion polls. استفتاءات, استطلاعات, استبيان poll. There is a common feeling that young people find traditional politics boring. Now, they find it boring, so they are not interested in going to vote. And whatever party they are in, they think, or they are from, politicians have nothing to offer us. So they don't serve us. رجال السياسة ما بيخدمونا. ليش نصوت لهم؟ Now, the new report recommended two things. What's the first one?
The voting age should be lowered to 16.
That's the second one, yes. The voting age should be lowered to 16, number two. And number one, making voting
should be
compulsory.
compulsory.
So number one, it's to make it compulsory. And number two, the age should be lowered to 16. إذا مشان نجبرهم يصوتوا لازم نخفض السن لل 16 ونعمله إجباري. Now, why is it a problem that so many young people not vote or don't vote?
Because they feel like won't do any difference.
But-
Yes, in the paragraph line number
Politicians
3, look at it.
because politicians can then afford to ignore them.
Yes, thank you very much. إذا أنت بتصوتش أنا مش راح أخدمك. They can afford and they will pay money to ignore. They will forget about us. This increases the feeling of not being listened to. So the people will think again, young people, that we are not listened to. They offer us nothing. And that it goes on like this. They don't vote. They don't want to go voting. But if young people want their voices to be heard, they have to vote. One important thing that we say in the report, though, is that there should be none of the above options. What does that mean?
يعني إنه ما اختار حدا لأنه
إنه يعني عندنا 15 مرشح يحطوا لي بالقائمة 16. الرقم 16 يكون ولا واحد من هؤلاء. I don't like them all. Now, what's the advantage of none of the above? Look at the last two lines.
That way, politicians will at least be made aware of how many people are not satisfied with what they are offered.
So we show them that we are not satisfied with what they are offering. بنورجي الرجال السياسي مش راضي عنكم كلكم لما بنعمل ولا واحد من هؤلاء. So this is it according to paragraph number 1 and number 2. Now, Alice, read paragraph 3, please, and 4.
Voting already exists in over 13 countries. In Belgium, for example, people who don't vote have to pay a small fine, and if they go for elections without voting, they lose the right to vote. As a result, 19% of Belgians voted to the last European elections.
Yes, thank you.
Proof.
Now, I need to start it again. You will continue when I finish. Compulsory voting already exists in over 30 countries. So in many countries in the world, you have to vote. في إجباري إنك تصوت. Now, an example is Belgium. In Belgium, for example, people who don't vote have to pay a small fine. بدفع غرامة اللي بيصوتش. And if they go for 4 elections without voting, they lose their right to vote. بيفقد حقه بالتصويت اللي بيصوتش 4 مرات. Because of this, as a result, 90% of Belgians, 90% من البلجيكيين voted in the last European election. صوتوا بانتخابات الاتحاد الأوروبي الأخيرة. Now, what would happen if you don't vote in Belgium?
to pay a small fine.
You'll have to pay a small fine. Thank you. And if you don't go for 4 elections without voting, what would happen?
You lose the right to vote.
Thank you. You are great and fantastic. Thank you very much. You lose your right to vote. So what was the outcome of making it compulsory and imposing a fine on people who don't vote? What happened in the last European election?
Belgians voted in the last European election.
That's it. 90% of Belgians voted in the last European election. Now, continue, Alice, please. The last paragraph.
Prof. Meadows points out that there are already a lot of things young people have to do by law, like going to school or wearing seatbelts in cars. Just one more, he believes wouldn't make much difference,
Yes.
especially in technology, can be used to make voting easier. Some steps toward this are already being taken. He said, why go further and create a voting app that can be downloaded onto a phone or tablet? They reports out authors
مؤلفين,
that taking together its authors believe that taking together its recommendations offer a solution to the crisis of democracy and will completely change the way democracy operates.
Operate يعني work, يعمل. Operate, work, how it goes. Now, according to this paragraph, if you look at the first 2 lines, now Professor Meadows points out that there are already a lot of things that young people have to do by law, like going to school or wearing seatbelts. So making it compulsory in this paragraph number 2 is not something risky or dangerous. Many things are done now by people simply because the law says you should do them. For example, going to school. You know, now in grade 1, 2, 3, up to 10, you have to go to school. Your parents have to send you to school, التعليم الإلزامي. And if they don't send you, they will be prosecuted. الولد اللي أهله ما بيدرسوه بيودوش على المدرسة بيتحاكموا. Wearing seat belts in cars is also compulsory. If you don't wear your seat belt, you will pay a fine. لبس الحزام في السيارة الأمان إجباري، واللي بيلبسوش بيدفع مخالفة. Another one to do is making voting compulsory here. Just another one wouldn't make any difference. مش راح يغير كتير في البلد. Especially اللي هي particularly اكتب عليها. If technology can be used to make voting easier. إذا بنستخدم التكنولوجيا. Now, how? By using an application, a voting application on your phone or tablet. تقدر تنزل تطبيق للتصويت على الجوال بدون ما تروح على مركز الانتخابات. The report's author believe that taking together the recommendations here and there in paragraph 2, 3, 4 will offer a solution to the crisis of democracy and would completely change the way democracy operates. Now, it's old. Democracy is old. It's established according to this paragraph and word there. It has been for ages, for many years. Now, what we need now is something new, using technology. If we use technology, we will encourage young people to vote. If we encourage them, the problem will be solved here, the crisis. So we can solve the crisis by making it compulsory and using technology by creating a voting application that can be downloaded onto our mobile phones or tablets. Now, all in all, how many different paragraphs do we have here? Yes? How many paragraphs? كم فقرة عنا؟
4.
أربعة. How many paragraphs? 4 paragraphs. What are they all about?
How to
Democracy.
solve the crisis of
The
democracy.
crisis of democracy. What's the crisis?
The number of people who vote in
Many
elections
people
has been falling.
Yes, not many people vote. Now, who are particularly not interested in voting?
Young people.
How
Young
can we solve this?
Young people.
How can we solve this?
Making voting compulsory.
By using technology.
And making voting compulsory, lowering it to the age of 16, and
Using technology.
Using technology.
using technology. Look at it here, creating a voting application that can be downloaded into our tablet or mobile phones. Now, these recommendations, according to the last 9, are the answer to the question. Do it. Do this one here and this one here. Lower age, make it compulsory, use technology, and young people will come and vote. Any questions about the text? So screenshot it, please, and keep stuff for yourself, especially the vocabularies. You can see that there are highlighted words in yellow. These are the things that we will be dealing with in the coming exercise. Screenshot it. I have the question. Look at it. Question number 1 above. What's the crisis? We did answer. And why? It's young people find it boring and they are not offered anything. Question number 2. How can this crisis be solved? 2 points. 1, 2. Line number 1 and 2. Question number 3. Sorry. What happens to these who don't vote? They pay a fine. And if they don't go for elections, they lose their right to vote. And what's the technology recommended for making? Who can answer this question, in fact? What's technology used for or recommended for?
Making election easier.
Making elections easier, making voting easier. Thank you very much. Now, the next slide, the last thing to do today. Complete the sentences. Is it here? With words that have the meaning. The underlined words can help you, will help you. Now, we are in the middle of everything is going wrong and we don't know what to do. So what is it? Yes. Now, Joyce, number 2. So Alice raised hand. Do it, Alice.
After a long time without big change, I think the system is well established and likely to stay more or less the same.
Okay, اكتبوا عليها عريق, مؤسس, قوي, established. Now, Sally, number 3. Omar, can you help?
هلا بحلها أستاذ.
يلا سالي, يلا go.
The opinion poll asking people for their opinion on this question all suggest the same result.
Thank you, you are nice, yes. Now, the next one, Omar. Guys,
There are several different ways to pay. It's your choice. So
which do you prefer? Yes, guys,
I can't find it.
which option? Now, choice, what's choice in English?
Option.
Option, that's it. إذا بدنا نعرف إنه choice, option, خيار. Opinion poll اللي هو استفتاء. Established عريق crisis أزمة. Now, Fadi, number 5.
بعرفهاش يعني ما.
So read it, just read it.
اعملها.
Yeah, read.
all of the issue يعني in the election are promising different things to make people want to choose them for the position.
Okay,
Candidate.
people who are in the elections, what do we call them? Yes, حلها اللي قالها حلها, يلا.
Candidate. The election are promising different.
So what's the word?
Candidate.
Candidates. So Fadi, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Isa, number 6. Mr. Usama.
Hiyo. People don't realize how hard most in the government work. Most
People in the government, what do we call them? Police?
Politician.
Yes. So what's it,
politicians
Faris?
are
Politicians.
politicians.
Now, okay, the last one, Muhammad Nazal.
As a punishment for driving too fast, he had to pay a fine for a small
Yes.
fee.
To pay a fine. Raya, number 1 and 2, please read them. Raya. Okay. Guys, read 1 and 2, please.
We're in the middle of a crisis. Everything is going wrong and we don't know what to do. After a long time without big changes, I think the system is well established and likely to stay more or less the same.
Thank you. 3 for Fadi.
أي وحدة.
Number 3 and number 4.
The opinion polls asking people for their opinions on this question all suggest the same result. There are several different ways to pay. It's your choice. So which option do you prefer?
Mustafa, number 5. Ubada, number 6. So Ubada, do 5 and 6, please.
All of the candidates in the selection are promising different things to make people want to choose them for the position. People don't realize how hard most politicians in the government work.
Okay, the last one, Joyce, and we finish the class. Muhammad, do that, please. Joyce is not there.
Okay. As a punishment for driving too fast, he had to pay a fine.
Thank you very much for today. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.